Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Wednesday Wellness with Brahma Kumaris. Um, this is being translated in Hindi. तो आप अगर हिंदी सुनना चाहते हैं तो इंटरप्रिटेशन में जाकर हिंदी चूज करिए. So today's topic is power to decide. We'll be talking about different powers. We started with power to face. Last week was power to discern. And this week is power to decide. Both power to discern and power to decide go hand in hand. They're very closely connected. And how is before we make a decision, we usually discern, right? Important, not important. Should I do it, not do it? So there's discernment that happens, and then a decision is being made. Power to decide is also called as power of judgment or power to judge, not judging others, uh, but just more of decision. Uh, in the court of law, especially in India, um, they show behind the judge there is this a blind woman standing, right, with a weighing scale. Have you seen that picture? Someone blindfolded and with a weighing scale. So what does this weighing scale mean? That I know all the options, I weigh them accurately, and then I make the decision. That's what it means. And why does the lady is blindfolded? And the reason for that is I don't want to make decisions just based on what I see with these eyes, but I want to make decisions based on my inner eye of wisdom, which is totally different from these eyes. These eyes will deceive me. What I see with these eyes, not necessarily everything is right, right? Or everything is accurate, what I see with these eyes. But what my inner eye of wisdom tells me, when I choose to decide based on wisdom, then my decisions are accurate. Accurate, or should we say that something that's right for me at that particular moment. huh? So that's why power to decide. Or in the court or behind the judge, there's this image of law, the lady, the holding the balance with blindfold. So a simple image, if you want to remember power to decide, is of a weighing scale or a balance. So what is needed is I weigh everything. That means I discern, and now I decide. If you see the old, the old balances, if you have ever seen, there are like two pans, and then there's this needle which always points at the top. Have you seen? There's that needle, and if the needle is it shifts on this side, means this side is heavier. If it shifts on this side, that means this side is heavier. So what does that needle represent? The needle represents my intellect. It has to be stable, just stable. And that's when both the sides are balanced. So what I need to make an accurate decision is balance. Definitely determination and also discernment. And last week we saw that what we need to discern is clarity of the intellect. We need clean, honest intellect, right? Um, We have to be beyond the biases. Sometimes the biases affect our discernment, but also all these things affect the decision making too. So when want to make an accurate decision, I go beyond all of this. If you have, if you know the story of how Bhagavad Gita was related or spoken, it's the story. The story goes that Arjuna was in the war, in the Mahabharat war, with his, his cousins and his teacher and his grandfather and everybody on the opposite side. And there were the Pandavas, right, who were fighting for righteousness. And on that battlefield, Arjuna couldn't make the decision. His intellect was clouded with attachment, and he couldn't make the decision whether I should even fight this war or why am I even fighting this war. And that's when Krishna, who is his charioteer, he has this conversation with him, asking him, can you guide me? Why am I making? Why am I fighting? This is my family. And that's when the whole knowledge of Bhagavad Gita was related to Arjuna to help him make the right decision. So, what was Arjuna's intellect clouded with? It was clouded because of a weakness or attachment to the relationships, attachment to his great grandfather, attachment to his guru, his teacher. So many a times, our attachments or our weaknesses cloud our intellect to make the right decision. And if you have read the Bhagavad Gita or have listened to it, you will know that there's a conversation that is happening between Arjuna and Sri Krishna, where Arjuna is asking questions and Sri Krishna is giving answers, right? Responding to his questions. So, what is needed to make a decision is this questioning, right? We don't just make decisions uh, just blindly, right? We need to question and we need to ask the right questions. Now, what questions should I ask? What kind of questions should I ask? So my questions have to be in alignment with my principles, with my destination, with my purpose. Then I'll be able to ask the right questions. Sometimes, we keep asking questions of why, what, how, and we run into the whole vortex of waste thoughts. And when we are trapped in this vortex of this wasteful thinking, of just asking why, what, how, of course, I will not be able to make a decision because now I'm just trapped in a cyclic pattern of wasteful thinking. So I need to ask myself, is this question in alignment with the principles in my life, with the purpose of my life, with the destination that I want to go to or I want to reach? When I get answers to this, then I can make decision easily. Sometimes there are barriers to making decisions, and one of the barriers is, of course, biases or our perceptions and all of that, but also something called anchoring, where I am just an anchor is like a support, right? So I'm holding on, or I'm using, um, say, my first impression as an anchor, or my perception as an anchor to make the decision. When we look at, successful people, and we always talk about their decision making capability. No, we don't talk about, oh, they discerned well, or which, did they discern, or what was it, but it's mostly the decision. They made the right decision at the right time, right? We always look at a successful person and we talk about, oh, wow, they have made accurate, such wonderful decisions that they're successful. So, in many, every company actually, for that matter, they have a mission statement, right? Every company has a mission statement. They have a vision, no, a vision and a mission statement. And whatever the employees, you know, whatever the employees are offering, or they work, or everything that's being practiced at the organization is in alignment to the mission and the vision. If we are not clear about the mission and the vision, then the decision will be tainted. Huh? Like in some organizations, they're very clear about, you know, there is providing the best customer service whatsoever. Um, there will be no any kind of cheating, or any kind of corruption, or any kind of right. So there are these certain principles that they follow, they stick to, and that's why decisions are made based on these principles. There would be times where they come across a certain situation where they have to ask the question, oh, should I do this or not? And based on the principle, they'll go ahead with a certain decision. Maybe at that moment one might feel that, oh, this is not the right decision. But when we understand on the bigger picture, law of karma, we know that whatever we choose, or whatever we decide, becomes our destiny, because it will come back to me. So based on the decisions I make, I'm choosing a destiny for myself. Now think about it. Every day we make so many decisions, from waking up in the morning. I decide whether I snooze the alarm or I just wake up. I decide how I wake up. I decide, what I'm going to have for breakfast. I decide what to wear, right? So there's so many decisions that we make every single day. We decide how to interact with my colleagues, or my family, or friends. It's a decision. So every moment we are actually making decisions, consciously, unconsciously. We are making decisions. That means that every moment I am deciding my destiny, right? I'm deciding my destiny. And what kind of a destiny do I want to create for myself? And each one of us will think, I want the best. None of us would say, no, I don't want my destiny to be that great. No, we all want a good destiny, right? So again, I have to pay attention to my decisions. Some decisions are really easy. No, for some decisions we really have to discern. For example, if if we have made a decision, say for example, um, in the Brahma Kumaris we follow a pure diet, so we refrain from eating any kind of meat or onion, garlic, right? So when I choose a vegetarian diet, that's my decision. I have made a decision that, okay, I'm going to follow this diet. Now, once I made the decision, do you think I have to discern every time? If I go with my friends outside and they are eating things, um, I don't even need to discern at that moment that, oh, should I eat or not eat? No, a decision is made. I have made a decision and I will stick by the decision. No? So sometimes when we make decisions, um, it becomes easy to just follow it, right? But maybe before making that decision, um, I would have, discerned or not discerned. Like in my case, it was just one thought. And that thought was based on the experience that I had during meditation. And I wanted that experience to stay with me. And I just wanted to experience that every day. And when I understood that, eating certain foods might interfere in that decision, would interfere in that experience, the decision was really easy. Okay, these things out. Because now what was important to me was the experience. Mm. So once I decide this is what I want, then it becomes very easy. But many a times, we decide something and we don't follow it, and then we decide something else and we don't. So every time I don't stick by my decision, actually I'm making my intellect weaker and weaker. And what happens is after a certain time, the intellect will even stop deciding. I will always be clouded because now I don't have faith in my own decision making because I know I don't stand by it. So the intellect will stop making decisions. You know how many times some people, when they have a certain habit, say for example, smoking, right? And so many times they say, oh, I quit. I'll quit. Or I quit from today. Or, people who have this, who have certain addictions. And every other day, they make the decision that I want to quit. But then they go back. They go back. And what happens is after some time, do you think they even have the power to make a decision? No. So I have to stick with my decision. In Hindi, it's called nirnay. Nirnay karne ki shakti, to decide. And once I decide, then I stick to my decision. That's what is empowerment. That's why it's called power to decide. First is to use the power to decide. And once I decide, I become powerful because of standing with that decision. So that's how it grows in me. So every time I stick by my decision, I'm telling the intellect, good job, right decision. And that's how the intellect says, oh, great. Yes, so I'll do it more. It's just like with little children when they perform the first time, and you say, "Wow, that was so wonderful." You're giving them that encouragement, right? That, oh, good, keep going. Whether it is sports, whether it is, any kind of art, skill, that encouragement is so important. So, in the same way, the encouragement for the intellect is so important. And where will that encouragement come from? It'll come when I stick to my decisions. I don't waver too much, or I don't go back on my decisions. In today's world, we see that many a times we think something, we speak something, and we end up doing something else. Now, again, that's not a sign of a good decision, no? Because I decided something, but I have no control over what I speak, and then I do something else completely different. So, again, my thoughts, words, and actions are not in alignment. So, what kind of a decision is happening? Mm. So, what is needed to have to have this alignment? No, there are a couple of things. One is, of course, asking the right questions. The second is, our experiences are so, and again, it's like a cyclic pattern where my decision could be based on the experience, but also the experience is based on a decision. For example, when I shared about, that meditation experience, and I made the decision of becoming a vegetarian, but even to meditate was a decision which gave me that experience. So if I'm not open, if I don't allow myself to experience newness, sometimes we are so comfortable in our comfort zones. We know that we need meditation, but still we don't do it. Many times, many people will tell that, oh, you do meditation? Oh, so good for you. Wonderful. So good you're doing meditation. Good, good, good you're doing it. And in my mind, I wonder sometimes, don't you need it? Don't you need it too? You know? They keep on saying, oh, you are doing it. Very nice. Oh, you really very nice. But everyone needs it. Everyone needs the experience of peace. Everyone needs the experience of love. But what is happening is I am so seated or comfortable in this comfort zone that I don't challenge myself for newness. I'm not even allowing myself for any kind of change. And sometimes it's also fear, right? Many of my friends and my relatives, they have seen how I was before um, I became a Brahma Kumari. So they know how I was. And now when they see me like this, they're like, oh my God, do we also have to become like this? If we learn meditation, or we will also have to, become vegetarian or wear white or, wake up at 4 o'clock. And so we are so tied up in our assumptions many times, right? That we don't make the right decision. We don't let or we don't choose newness. We don't choose something different to help me grow. Think about it. We're doing the same thing, same pattern every single day. Life is all about waking up, work, taking care of children, family, weekends, partying. It's like a same thing. Groceries, especially in the US, right? It's such a pattern that we follow. Weekend groceries, weekend get togethers, weekend parties, functions, weddings, right? Everything weekends. And weekdays, waking up, getting ready, going to work, come back, take kids for this class, that class, swimming class, everything, come back, dinner, sleep, wake up, same pattern. And we do the same thing over and over and over again every single day. We are tired of the pattern, but we don't choose to break the pattern. So what is lacking there is sometimes we sometimes our experiences or our decisions are based out of knowledge, based out of conscious, my conscious, or love. When my decisions are based out of knowledge, they don't last too long. They might not last too long. Sometimes it's also very superficial based on knowledge. It's just like on every single cigarette packet, it's written cigarette smoking is injurious to health. There is knowledge, and the smoker has the knowledge that, oh, this smoking will cause cancer, can cause blockages in the heart, I might get a heart attack, cough, all of this. I have the knowledge of all of this, and I might make a decision based on this knowledge, but again, it could be temporary. I might go back because knowledge itself is not 100% sustaining. The next could be conscious, right? So my conscious doesn't allow me to um, do this. And the next is third is love, that I don't do this out of love for the self, love for my family, love for nature, love for world, right? All of that. So when we talk about being, so for example, being vegetarian, it's love for the body, love for nature, love for the environment, love for animals. So there is love. And when I make a decision based on love, it's mostly irreversible. It's more of a transformation. So when I make a decision based on conscious, so say for example, right, in a between a couple, and when the couple, when the partner chooses not to cheat, it could be because of a conscious, my conscience that, no, I'm married, and or I have this relationship and I don't want to cheat because of the relationship. It's not the right thing to do. So that's my conscience. But now, if I have true love, my conscience, you know, I don't even have to discern. I don't even have to, my conscience doesn't even need to play any part over there. My love is so strong, so powerful that that's my decision. Yeah. So when I make decisions based on love, my experiences are based of love. It's a more it's more transformative. There's no going back. Think about it in your life, the decisions that you have made based on love. Take a moment, think about it. The decisions that you have made based on love are more, are more leading to transformation. And the second practice, of course, is in the Brahma Kumaris, we always say, right, are having true love for the self, for who am I, and love for God, and love for all the souls. So when I'm clear about this, I will make the right decision. And the first practice is that I am a soul. Unless I stabilize myself as a soul, many times as a person in this life, we surround ourselves with these principles, and this is not right, and this is not, I'm not, it's me, I will never do this, and all these things. But it's, if I'm creating my principles based on this birth, or again based on the religion, the gender, right, the caste, when I'm making my decisions based on all of this, or when I'm making my decisions based of these criteria, these principles that I've created based on all of this, then again it's limited. I, the soul, am playing a part of in a female body in this birth, but the soul is beyond gender. So now I'm separating myself from the limited into the unlimited. And also, when I detach myself from the limited, I'm able to make decisions more accurately. As a third person, sometimes when we are going through a situation, because I'm part of that situation, I'm going through it, we are not able to decide. But when I look at it as a third person, I can decide, right? So the first practice is, who am I? What is my purpose? What is my aim? What is God telling me to do? What would God like to see me doing? Hmm? And then, of course, we run behind the limited, and we'll keep running behind the limited. But when I have the unlimited as my companion, everything will follow me. There's this movie, right? The Three Idiots, I think Three Idiots movie. In the end, that dialogue is there in the movie where run behind, um, run behind perfection, and success will follow, right? Look for, or imbibe perfection, right? Focus on uh, perfection or knowledge, right? And success will follow. So another way of looking at it is the sun. You know? Think about it. When the sun is at the back, where is the shadow? The shadow is in the front, right? The shadow falls in the front. And when I choose to chase the shadow, can I catch my shadow? No. The shadow keeps going, keeps moving. I cannot grab my shadow. So the shadow represents all these limited attainments that we are running in life, the limited experiences, limited attainments. The more I run behind these, the more it's going further away. And I have my back towards the sun of knowledge, the sun of truth. I have my back because now I'm so busy chasing the shadow. And now think about it, if the sun is in the front and I walk towards the sun, what happens to the shadow? The shadow follows me. The shadow is behind me and the shadow follows me. So when I am focused towards the truth, when I am looking at the ocean of knowledge, the sun of knowledge, God being the sun of knowledge, S-U-N, sun. When I am going towards knowledge, going towards truth, being in love with God, performing actions in alignment with truth, success will follow me. The attainments will follow me because my vision is at the unlimited. So when I'm looking at the unlimited, limited will follow. Hmm? So take a moment and really ask yourself, am I chasing behind the limited, hoping to get success? Or should I change my tactics a little bit and let me focus on the unlimited? And everything limited will follow. Okay. So power to decide is again giving myself the respect, giving myself the belief, the faith, the love to stand by my decision. And that's how the power in the soul increases. Right? So that's power to decide. Very, very important power because we make so many decisions every single day. So power to discern, power to decide go hand in hand many times. But also once I decide, choose to stay by it. And it's when my intellect is pointing up, the needle on the balance points up. So when my intellect is in the unlimited, going beyond, then I'm balanced. you know. But if my intellect is not going up, it's shifting, there's no consistency, then I'm not balanced. So consistency needed. Like for the sports, right? Like a sportsman, or we just had Paris Olympics. So all those people who participated in the Olympics, they made the decision that I will be number one or I want to be number one. That's their decision. Now, every morning, do they decide that, oh, whether I should do my practice or not do it? No. They have made a decision, they stick by it, and they choose to rehearse. They choose to practice every single day. Right? So sometimes we need to make decision. We need to come out of that comfort zone and make a decision, stick by it, and there's no going back. So, question for you to reflect on is, what is the decision that you would want to make for yourself to come out of your comfort zone? Please come out of the comfort zone. We all think about meditation, very good. I want to do it, yes, someday. But why not today? Why someday? Why not today? So let's choose what is right for me. Let's choose what is sustaining. Let's choose love. Let's choose peace in my life. Let's choose God's love in my life. And that's how my life becomes beautiful and powerful and successful. Okay? Om Shanti. So let's reflect. Let's take a moment to reflect and ask yourself this question. What is it that I want to choose for myself? What is the life that I want to choose for myself? Do I want to continue living the monotonous life, being in the comfort zone? Or I want to break the barriers and fly into the unlimited. I take myself into the unlimited, beyond gravity, beyond this earth. And from being up there, I look down. I look down at what part am I playing? As a third person, what would I want to tell myself? What is the one big decision that I would like to make? Make that decision. Being detached as a third person, I also remind myself of how powerful I am and master almighty authority because I am the child of the supreme almighty authority. Everything is possible for me. I just need determination and decision. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. So every day remind yourself that I am master almighty authority and everything is possible for me. Okay. So have a great week. I'll see you next week with another power. Till then, practice power to decide, stick by your decisions, and enjoy your week. Any questions? Okay, so I'll see you next week. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Shanti.